Hi, everybody. So glad to have you here. We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube, Twitter as well. So, really glad to have everybody here. We want to talk today about staying healthy and staying positive with so much uncertainty in our world. Those are things that we know. I know that we can do to help you. And why I said we is because my friend Carley is joining me here live. Carley Smith, the fairy gut mother. So good to see you. I love
Hello, good to
collaborating with
see
you.
you.
Always
I
makes me
know,
so
it's the
happy.
best. I know, likewise.
Well, let's get right to some tips for people. And I want to remind people as well, as I love live streaming, this is so much fun,
Yeah,
that
this is
you can
great.
put your questions right there in Facebook or on YouTube, and we will pop them up and answer your questions. So if there's something about health, positive mindset, what's happening in our world, obviously staying healthy, so important right now. We want to be able to answer those questions. So Carley, let's get to your tips first.
Yes.
Staying healthy. I will say I've had COVID twice. Not
Oh,
fun
wow,
at all.
twice.
I know. I don't know if I
Wow.
even told you that. But
Yeah.
the getting over it and getting back on track was probably my biggest struggle with everything.
Mm,
As you know, it stunk to be kind of laid up and not feeling well, but then getting over
yeah,
it, getting my immune system to kick back in and just feel well and have energy.
right.
So I know you've got a few tips for us. So let's get right to it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it takes a while to get things back up and running. And so one of the things that you should obviously do to help support your immune system is focus on the gut. You know, nearly the entire immune system is located in the gut. So when we talk about gut health, it's really that healthy balance of bacteria and fungi and a nice healed and sealed gut lining. So one of the things that you can do is take a probiotic supplement. So the probiotic is basically just that beneficial bacteria and fungi that are in the gut. And that's one way to help kind of restore and rebalance the microbiome. But it's equally as important to be thinking about the foods that we eat, because the bacteria, they're living, they're alive, they get to the gut and they're
Yeah.
hungry and they want to eat. And what do they eat? They eat fiber. So in addition to incorporating probiotic supplement or maybe probiotic rich foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, those fermented foods, and yogurt, are also incorporating more fiber into the diet so you can help to feed that good bacteria. And I think that's really important because people think, oh, I'm taking a probiotic, I can eat whatever I want. Well, if they get there and they're not having the right food that they want to eat, they'll just die or they'll eat away at the gut lining.
Yeah.
So just causing further complications. So that probiotic, really important, or those probiotic rich foods, and then incorporating more fiber, helping to really feed that good bacteria, and then making sure that you're reducing or eliminating those processed foods,
Mm.
sugars, those things that feed the pathogens in the gut.
That can be one of the hardest things. I know, especially as a mom, my kids come home from school and they're like, where are the Cheez-Its? Where are the, and I always
Right.
say, let's close the pantry door. Like I've threatened to put a lock on the pantry door and go for the bowl of fruit first.
Yeah.
And so shopping the perimeter of the grocery store and those fresh things first, just how important is that? Because, I'm asking them to go to the refrigerator or go to the fruits or vegetables.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing, especially when we're in the habit of eating processed foods.
Oh, yeah, it is. And that's why I always tell people, just having those healthy foods readily available is so important. The worst is when we're hangry, you're hungry and angry and tired and you want something immediately and you just reach for the quickest thing, which tends to, oftentimes be the most unhealthy options. So having those healthy options always readily available is key. And you brought up a good point about just kind of like wanting those particularly unhealthy foods. And what's happening in the gut is that when we start eating those foods that are sugars and processed foods, it actually feeds the pathogens. So once those start to grow in the gut, they kind of start telling the brain what they want to eat. So then it becomes your gut bad bacteria talking and not really you at all. So it's very important to be making sure that you're, incorporating those healthier choices daily. And the gut is, flexible. It does allow for a little bit of moderation, so you don't have to, totally go one way and feel guilty if you do indulge or anything. But it's definitely having those healthy options on hand are key. And the good news is that there are some really great quality brands out there today that are making good quality snack items, for kids and families. And that way, can just help to, mitigate some of those side effects.
Makes a huge difference when we're talking about our energy. And again, for me, it was my energy for about a week after I had recovered. For the most part,
Yeah.
the cold, all of that went away, but finding energy, I was so tired. And another thing I've been talking about on social media, a lot of people have commented on, even you, is the after effects of just building yourself back up. Like I was losing hair like crazy. Come to find out,
Oh, wow.
that happens with a lot of people. And so I'm doing everything I can just to build my immune system back up and to have
Yeah.
energy and to regrow my hair. Thankfully, I've got
Yeah.
some to
Oh, it
spare,
takes
but I was
time.
like pulling out chunks of hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it takes time. That's one of the things I tell my clients too. I mean, you have to be patient. The gut didn't get to that point overnight. Especially with COVID, if you're sick for, a few weeks at least, you kind of have to give yourself that amount
Yeah.
of time and some more to really get back into the swing of things. So just being easy on yourself, incorporating those really nourishing nutrient dense foods is so important. And then, the lifestyle piece, Natalie, you talk about this all the time, but how important that is, managing our stress,
Yeah.
creating a schedule and a routine and really taking time for yourself and self-care. Those, the gut is a lifestyle. Those are equally as important.
So I'm going to get to some just positive mindset. I'm all about that, but I want to get to some questions. Jim is asking right
Yes.
now, you being our health expert, is elderberry gummies with zinc good for you?
I love elderberry. It's wonderful. It's a great antioxidant. So one of the things with the gummies, and zinc is of course wonderful too. That's really helpful for the immune system. But one of the things with the gummies, just you want to make sure reading the label, making sure that the sugar content. Sometimes what they tend to do with some of these supplements is, putting in a lot more sugar and additives. So it's not necessarily doing a great job. Another thing too that with elderberry, you technically need a little bit more to kind of boost that immune system or for more of a preventative measure. So sometimes it's a little bit more helpful if you can find that in the liquid forms, just straight elderberry, and then take it that way, or making a tea. That way it can be a little bit more concentrated with that as well. That's great. But I do love those. I think they are great for more of a preventative way. And I just mentioned, just check the label, make sure that there's not a whole lot of additives and sugar. But otherwise, I think those are awesome.
Yeah, you're really good about teaching us to look for those labels. I love
Yeah,
elderberry too. And as
so
soon as I
good.
start feeling just a little bit sicker, when you feel like your lymph nodes are a little swollen
Mm-hmm.
or you're getting that little bit of a scratchy throat, I go straight
Yes,
to a teaspoon of elderberry. And usually if
it's
I'm doing
wonderful.
it, I get the whole family in line and I'm like, okay, here it's time for elderberry. I'm not feeling well, so all of you.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's
and
a
I
really good
do,
immune booster.
yeah, and I have a recipe I think on my website for adding in. So I do kombucha and elderberry gummies. So just add in. You could do any juice. I added in a little bit of kombucha, the elderberry,
Mm.
grass-fed gelatin. So that way you're more in control of the ingredients. You could use honey as a sweetener or maple syrup. Again, using that better quality option, and they're so simple to make. Really easy to have on hand, and they last for a while. So that's an option as well as just making your own.
Well, one of the other things we wanted to talk about today was so much, again, uncertainty. Should I send my kids to school? Should I not? Is that event going to happen? We're going to talk about the event that we're hosting together in just a minute. It's going to be at the Brown Palace Hotel. We're really excited about this wellness retreat. But I also want to talk a little bit about just staying positive, because health is one half of it, but your
Mhm.
health is going to be impacted by your mindset and your positive attitude. And it's not easy, especially with so much uncertainty. So a couple of the tips that I want to give as people ask me, how do I stay positive and have that mindset, which I'm all about? First, stay on a schedule. I think it's so important to stay on that schedule. If you're getting up at 6:30 every day and you're feeling a little down, you want a little bit more sleep one day, give yourself some grace, get the sleep, but try to stay on that same schedule, because that's going to help you stay positive. Secondly, do you keep a gratitude journal, Carley?
I do actually. And there's a book that I read, The Gratitude Diaries. And that was one of the things that, have you read that book?
No, sounds like I
Oh, it's
should. I need to
great.
write that one
Yeah,
down. The Gratitude
it's
Diaries.
great. Yeah. And it's, I think it's so important. It's a great way to shift your mindset
Yeah,
and to, just really where attention goes, energy flows, so if
absolutely.
we're focusing on the positive things, we'll be able to attract more into our life. So I love the idea of a gratitude diary.
Yeah, before my feet even hit the floor every morning, the first thing we often do, most of us do, is grab the phone. What happened overnight? When I was in the
Yes.
news business, that was the first thing I did. What happened overnight that I have to know because I'm going to have to be
Wow.
broadcasting this right away?
Yeah.
And what a negative way to start your day with the bad things that have
Wow.
happened or the emails that have come in or your to-do list. So before my feet even hit the floor, for me, I'm so grateful for thank God for the things that I have that are
Wow.
blessings in my life. And so starting your day
Yeah.
with positivity and at least three things, if you can just think in
Yeah.
threes of three things I'm thankful for before my feet even hit the
Yes.
floor, I would recommend that. And then one of my mom's favorites that I tell myself all of the time, and I say it to my kids, and I know they're tired of it, but they will repeat it to their kids, is action comes before motivation. It's hard to be
I love
motivated
that.
at uncertain times, but if you just take
Yes.
that one action and just start, it then propels you to more action.
Yes. Yes, 100%. That fits in with, diet as well. That's, and I tell a lot of my clients is, you don't have to change everything at once. Just start by doing
Yeah.
one simple thing. Maybe it's not cutting out completely the sugar and the processed foods. It's just reducing it or incorporating one more, fiber rich food into one meal a day. So, you don't have to cut everything out. It's just those small steps, which, eventually add up into much bigger progress over time.
Baby steps. Well, let's talk
Yes.
about the wellness retreat, shall we? And
Yes.
if you have questions, everybody put them in the comments here, um, anywhere there, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are, and we will answer them. It's coming up. Oops, I put the wrong information in there. It's February. Okay, so ignore the information that says January. The retreat is in February. I can change that while you're telling us about it. This
Yes.
is so fun to be live, but I'm literally
Yes.
putting all the
Okay.
information in. So sorry for the mistake. So go ahead and tell us
No,
more
no,
about the
you're
retreat,
good.
Carly.
Yeah. So we're super excited about this retreat. It's at the Brown Palace Hotel and Spa in Denver, Colorado. So if you have never been to the Brown Palace, it's just such a wonderful, historic, iconic hotel in the heart of downtown Denver. And so we're hosting it there. And it's really just, a few days of really immersing yourself in health and wellness. So I'll be talking a lot about gut health, how to heal your gut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I was putting video up there too. How fun is
No,
that?
you're totally fine. Yeah. Um, yeah, that was just us touring the Brown over this summer. So yeah, I'll be talking a lot about gut health. Natalie's going to bring in that whole lifestyle component of it, and you'll really leave with everything to kind of get your gut back on track and your life all set up for the rest of this year for a healthy and a happy new year. So we're super excited. This is just a tentative schedule and some food picks from the Brown. We'll be eating all gut healthy foods. So I've teamed up with the chef to prepare, really nourishing, nutrient dense meals. So you can be sure that, all the food will help to support the gut. And we do want to mention that we are offering early bird pricing. So it's discounted pricing for a limited time. And then there are no cancellation fees, which I think is important to note during these uncertain times. So you can feel more comfortable in reserving your space.
Yeah, and look at the space here, by the way. The Brown Palace
Yeah.
is so beautiful. Their rooms, we got a tour when we went to plan everything. And it's been so long since I've been there and been in the rooms there that just what a great getaway. And here are some examples, by the way, of the room packages included. And then let's go back to that schedule. There's some of the awesome food the chef there at the Brown Palace is planning along with Carley, all gut health, of course, happy foods. And let's look at the
Yeah.
schedule again. So we're going to meet on Friday. That's February 18th. And then we're going to have a meet and greet. And then you can see some of the activities planned for Saturday. We'll have a brunch on Sunday, and everything is included in the price, right, Carley?
Yes, everything's included. That's your room, food, tax. everything is included in that pricing.
I'm so excited about that. And
I
I think
know,
it's really
it'll be
important
wonderful.
for people to know too that with uncertainty and masks and what's going to happen, that there is that refund that's available
Yes.
if things change. And that's 7 days prior to the event, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
exactly. So
good.
yeah, and these are, just so effective. And I've, run retreats in the past, and I will tell you that everybody that's come to my retreat has made long lasting changes in their life, because you are really immersed in that environment. You're eating the gut healthy foods. You're, in this stress-free environment. By the way, the Brown has a tremendous spa, and you get 15% off, I believe, at the spa during your stay. So, you can book a massage, but really it's just all about self-care and managing your stress levels. We're doing some gentle yoga. So, yoga for gut health. You don't have to have any yoga experience whatsoever, but yeah, so people really do make these long-lasting changes in their everyday life, and I really attribute that to just kind of being out of that stress every day, and eating all the foods, learning all the information, and really absorbing everything and feeling empowered to make those changes when they go back home.
Yeah, another thing that I want to mention is it's so easy to isolate ourselves right now. I've been so guilty of that, just like, well, I'm not really sure
Yes.
what's happening in the world. So I'm just going to stay home, watch another movie, do some more work. But there's something to just
Yeah.
being with other people who have the same goal. So if that's, eating healthy, finding that positive mindset, whatever those things are, and we're going to do all of that in this weekend, that is so good for our mental health. And we all need that right now.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody has any other questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. But Carley, I'm so excited to be collaborating with you
Yes.
on this project. I'm really excited to meet the folks who are going to come out to the Retreat Yourself Wellness Retreat again
Yes.
at the Brown Palace Hotel, February 18th through 20th. I corrected it. Did you see?
Oh,
I
yes. Fantastic.
multitask.
Perfect.
So,
No worries.
so
Good catch.
please come on out. We would love to see you there. And if you have any other questions, go ahead
Yeah.
and throw them in. I've got a little bit more information you can see right here. Retreat yourself, give yourself the gift of self-care, as Carley and I have talked about just how important that is. Okay, I can let that
Yes,
go.
definitely. And we do want to, yep. And just to mention one thing too, if you have any questions about the retreat, don't hesitate to reach out to Natalie or me personally, and we'll be sure to answer your questions, or, whatever is most helpful. So
Good. Well, we'll go live again soon with some
yeah,
more health tips and positive mindset tips. And Carley, have a great weekend. It's snowing
thank
outside
you.
my window right now.
Oh my gosh. I never thought I'd say it, but I actually kind of miss the snow just a little bit. It's, even though it's 70 here in
I
Florida,
know
so
you're in
I'm
the Sunshine
happy for
State.
that.
So nice there. And it's like 20 here in Colorado. But
I'll
I'm
send you
looking
some
forward.
sun and warmth
I
your
know we
way.
have a nice balance here. All right. Well, I'll talk to you again soon. Everybody,
Yes.
thanks. So wait, we've got a comment. Let me see
Oh,
if, Rick says hello. Hi, Rick. Good to
hey
talk to you.
Rick.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today live, and we'll do it again soon. Bye, Carley.
Sounds
Have a
good.
good weekend,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.